Silence. Awesome. Okay. I almost. We should do it. Go ahead. It's already been recorded.
It's okay. It's just a little.
Oh my gosh, this is so good, right?
It really is. I had to.
We're not 3 in.
No, not at all.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Books and Booze. We are enjoying this incredible bourbon.
Yes.
Oregon Spirits, obviously out of Oregon, right?
Yes. So good.
It's strong. This is
strong.
barrel and bond, so it means it's 100 proof.
Yeah.
So we shook it with ice and added some ice.
Yeah, we had to cut it with some water and ice, and it's still a little kick to there.
I'll see if we get through the podcast, right?
Overflowing.
But so good. My goodness. And remember, we mentioned this before in the first episode, but Oregon Spirit has one of the first head distillers that's a female.
Yeah.
Like there's very few in the world. So I just think that is so awesome.
She did a great job. She really did.
Well, you've had more of their assortment. Like you were really excited when I brought this.
Yeah, Oregon Spirit. Yeah, because I had their blue bottle, which is their standard.
Okay.
And it's still it's not bottle and bond, and it's not single barrel. However, it is very, very well rounded, Swedish. It has like more of a honey cinnamon kind of flavor to it, and this one has it even more.
Yeah.
Fun. It's strong, you know, and I had to cut it with water because I don't want hair on my chest.
Well, as in there, the last 2 weeks I was celebrating the end of Carnival season, right, and Mardi Gras. So we did some New Orleans inspired cocktails with this as the base. So what's nice is it makes a great cocktail, but honestly, guys, like something of this caliber, it really is an ideal sipping bourbon, right?
It really is.
It's complex, it's beautiful.
Have you tried a Manhattan with it?
No, they recommended this, but we were just enjoying the flavor. We were like,
I think that might be next week.
Maybe next week. Yeah.
I mean, it just has that strong flavor. I'm like, I really think I'd like to see what it tastes like.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, welcome to another podcast of Books and Booze.
Yeah.
This week is our 3rd week, and we are using the book.
Oh, E-Myth.
Yes.
Gerber. Yes. Talking about all the good stuff of how to transition from being a technician, and a technician / operator to being a business owner, and successfully being able to run your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're following the story of Michael talking to Sarah, right? Who is a pie shop owner who is just drowning. And I think she's lost 2 key players in her team. And just feels like, she's basically starting at 3 a.m. and she's there till 11 o'clock at night because she's cleaning up, she's baking the pies, she's ringing things up she is everything when she's down a person.
Yeah, one-man band. She, if I'm not mistaken, her journey, of course, she was, what was it, with a grandma or not? And she used to make them as a kid. She loved it. And of course, when you love something and you're good at it, what's the next step, right? Yeah. Everyone tells you to do.
Oh, you should open your own.
Yeah,
right.
Open up your own business. So you go and you do it, and you get all the things together. She went and did it. She opened up her business, and then she got really popular, got really busy. People loved her stuff, so she went and hired an employee. The employee went and started doing whatever she instructed them to do. The employee was doing okay, so she started adding more and adding more and adding more to the employee. And then when that employee looked to get a little overwhelmed, she hired another one to kind of start giving more stuff to. And before she knew it, she had handed off all of these things, but had no structure to how they should be performing their work. So what ended up happening? Well, quality decline. Yep. All, quality complaints, things started getting forgotten. And
they both left.
They ended up both leaving.
Yeah. So, and maybe some of you have been on that journey, or some of you are getting ready to launch your own business or thinking about doing it. So how do you prevent some of those business tragedies, really.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So
think that's what I like about the book too, is he kind of walks you through some of it's very common pitfalls that a lot of small businesses go through, and he lays it out as Sarah as being an example. And now we're going to start diving into more of
the business development processes that analyze, right?
Yeah, so that you could possibly not have these pitfalls happen.
Exactly. Because when we wrapped up last week, he was talking about, creating your business to be a turnkey business.
Yeah.
Like if you say your why is to step away and be able to spend time with your family, right? Or if your why is to even make more money, right?
Yeah.
And some of you, your why is to grow this amazing concept of a business that benefits so many people in your community, and you want to turn it into a chain because there's other people who deserve what it is that you offer or enjoy what it is that you offer. So you want to turn it into a chain, or maybe you're even thinking of franchising. He does talk about the franchise prototype, but not because he's encouraging anyone to franchise, but because a franchise is a ready-made business.
Turnkey.
It's turnkey, right? Anybody can read the manual or module, and if they follow steps A through Z in that correct order, then it can be done.
They have a greater chance of success.
Absolutely. Success. The girls are speaking. Woof. So in this third part, he calls it the business development process. He says there's really 3 activities in which your business can evolve. And I completely agree. And I feel like I've even pulled this back to a lot of what I've needed to do within businesses that I've led and run. But you are either in a state of innovation, a state of quantification, or a state of orchestration.
Yeah, I like it. I love how he put it, and we're going to dive into that.
Yeah. He really puts things into processes that can be repeated, right? I feel like really anybody who picks up this book really has a blueprint to set up a successful business. I mean, there's a lot of other nuances,
yes,
but there is so much value in this, and how he writes, and
he really
simplifies things.
Yeah, I was going to say dumbs it down, but yeah, he's just so much better. Yeah. I used to read the yellow book. It was like QuickBooks for Dummies.
Right.
So that it was like business for dummies.
It totally is. Said with the highest of compliments.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, completely. Yeah. So, okay, if we're digging into these 3 activities, so innovation, right? And he quotes somebody named Professor Levitt, who really gave us the definition, because a lot of people, and I agree, at first I was thinking, innovative, creative, right? You're always thinking of new things, but there's a defining line.
Yeah, there is.
Professor Levitt says creativity thinks up new things. Innovation does new things. And that's the powerful key thing, right?
Yeah, I think people get that confused. I think innovation is like artistry, it's you're thinking of, like, I run into so many people who have a great idea. They're thinking we have a great idea, but that's all it is, just a great idea.
Yep.
That's being creative.
Right.
The moment you innovate is when you take that great idea, right, or that thought, that business, and act.
And put it into action. Yeah, absolutely.
Act. Now you innovated something.
Yeah. And he gives so many really great examples. And I said in another interview that we did that, some of these books are like I feel like, okay, I do know what I'm talking about, because here's some, like, I do think I've been doing things, have done things, and then I read them in this book and I'm like, oh, yay. I'm not the only validating that. I feel validated 100%. Right. So he gives this example in the book, like you go out to a store and every single store in the mall, when you walk into the store, the first thing that salesperson says to you,
can I help you with something?
Yeah. And they usually have this lackluster demeanor.
Yeah. Are there
need help with anything?
Is there something you need? Can I help you something?
Okay, Fran.
Yeah.
But yes, so he's like, what if you change it up, And the question, have you shopped with us before? Right? Because that's such a powerful thing to learn about your guest. If they have, then obviously there's a reason you're back. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. So glad you have. What's bringing you back in today?
Yeah.
Right? And if they say no, what an amazing chance to introduce that to your brand. And that was something I implemented in one of the companies where I'm working, just changing up that initial greeting, right? Because so many places say, greet your customer within, 10 seconds or what have you, but they don't really give them what to say. So the stereotypical thing is, hi, how are you? What can I help you find? Right. It feels like service.
Kind of think of. I actually went to the store. It was pretty innovative what they did. I've never been in this store. Okay, it was not even a stain or whatever. But the associate walks up to me and she goes, "Oh, it's so good to see you again." Oh, like yeah, it's so good to see you again. What is it that you were looking for this time? Right? She never see it. I could see, because then the next thing, as I'm going around the store, the next associate went and asked the same thing to the person walking in. I was like,
But what this business that you went into is doing is testing out different innovative thoughts, right? They're saying,
it was pretty clever.
It's not working to say, what are you shopping for today? Right? Or because they can't get this generation out of a lack of enthusiastic demeanor in the rotation of this selling experience, then they're giving them the script of what to say in hopes that it sounds a little better. Right?
It had me stopping. It actually got me to the point where I was like, have I been here before? Did I have a touch of dementia? I've been here before.
Don't have some booze before you went in.
I thought that was pretty clever.
It was clever. All right, he also talks about, changing up maybe the dress code, right? I guess it's scientifically proven that customers respond to different color palettes. It emotes different energies. So depending on what your business is trying to present, there are certain colors that are better for that.
Maybe we should get a uniform. How? It could be books, booze. Wait, it depends on how we read it.
Right?
Books, booze.
Right. We'll work on it. But yes. Yes. Okay. Right. Let's get a shirt. Perfect. Love that. But yes, they talk about being innovative and coming up with different things to do to get your business stronger or try to rectify something, right? But then he goes into the fact that you can't have innovation success if you don't start quantifying.
Yeah, you need your data.
Absolutely. And this is, I think, where we see the biggest pitfalls when somebody's in an existing business and they come to us like, something's not working. Why am I not profiting? Right. And we ask them some sample questions, and
it's usually all around their numbers.
Their KPIs.
Yeah,
right.
It really is all around their numbers. I think that's one of the largest struggles that I find most business owners go through is typically, if you're a technician, means that you're really good at making something or doing something, right?
And if you're an entrepreneur, you're like super creative. You want to try something.
Yeah, you're very much, there's new things you want to try. Again, very creative, want to try different things. It's not very often you go and you meet an accountant that goes and says, let me go ahead and just open up this huge franchise of going and making more accountants. I mean, yes, there are, and there are other one-offs, but numbers are most of the challenges that either a technician or an entrepreneur will have.
Well, I think it comes with the stigma of it feels a little boring, right? Unless you realize that your numbers are a whole nother language that your business speaks. And you can have a more intimate relationship with your business when you speak its language, because your business doesn't speak, but I mean, we speak English, right?
Yeah.
Our business doesn't speak English. It speaks numbers.
Yeah.
And we're trying to force English onto our business, and we're not able to communicate with it until we put on that manager hat, right?
Yeah.
And we need the data. And
you get the data. And the great thing is, I'm a numbers girl. I go through the numbers. What I really like about the numbers is that the numbers do tell a story. And once you're able to read that story and translate it into, one is knowledge, but it's plans. You can start basing goals. You can start planning what you want to do with certain things based on your numbers, how you even want to approach your team members based on numbers. I mean, everything, once you learn that language and how the story's being told with those numbers, getting your data.
Yep.
Now it actually translates into everything you really want to happen as the entrepreneur, technician, and business owner.
Absolutely. And your quantification allows you to test your innovative theories, right?
Yeah.
So do you get a better conversion rate? Like if you know that there's going to be 40 people that walk into your boutique typically on a Saturday, right? And by changing up your verbiage with the customer, can you turn that 40 footsteps into at least 20 transactions, a 50% conversion?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there are devices that can actually track and convert all of that for you. And then we often recommend that, as you're starting up a business, get some sort of software that not only processes your customers' transactions, keeps tracks of, the inventory you're ordering, but keeps that data for you.
It's funny. I just recently had a meeting, and I had a meeting. We've got a team up in Canada that we work with in regards to some of the advertising that we do on a retail side of our business. And I was having a conversation with them, and they come and they ask me, and they say, "Hey, did you know that on Wednesdays, half of Saturdays and Sundays are your highest foot traffic for this particular product?" I didn't know, right? But because they had the tools and they've been tracking that, they already knew to reallocate ad spend to those particular days. So that way we could increase the foot traffic and thereby increase sales. But none of that would have been known had we not start quantitating.
Yep.
It's not a word, quantitating. It's a word, right? Quantitating.
Yes. Sounds good. Have another.
Yeah. Anyways, you all know what I mean. We're tracking our stuff, right?
It's booze lingo. We'll offer a PDF cheat sheet in the future. No, it is a word. Don't worry.
You think it like that girl. I seen you before.
But yes, those numbers can make or break your knowing those numbers, right? And they also help you know your innovative ideas, or when do you need to get innovative, right? If you see that constantly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is a really tough time. Okay,
what can we do?
What can we do to, right?
Numbers.
And why do you think, bars and restaurants started happy hour 4 to 6 p.m.? Right?
I love happy hour.
But it was a smart tactic, right? Because that is their lowest time. The lunch rush is over. People aren't out of work yet, right? So
how can we boost people to come?
Sales at that point? Sure. Yeah. Or early bird specials, right? Things like that. So once you speak that language of data with your business, then it will empower your innovative mindset, entrepreneur mindset. And then the third is orchestration.
Yeah.
So
now that you've innovated, right? You've got your data, right? Now let's orchestrate everything together and make it a perfect symphony.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it run.
Yes. And that's when, honestly, checklists.
I love checklists.
That can really make or break a business, right? Because you find something that works, you've tested it, you see it, now you need to roll it out as expectation. So orchestration almost is how you build your standard operating procedure,
your SOP.
Your SOPs minor. Yep. Yeah. So if you know that with your team, it's better to have the person who comes in the morning do some cleaning and do such things, then you set that up in your manual. But if you found it's better to clean at night, right? Especially if health-wise, right? You have to clean up at the end of the night and things like that. If you run a restaurant, bar, or something like that.
Yeah.
But even putting that into place, and then how you speak to your customers, right? That's put that into a checklist. Almost make, anybody who's going to work for you on your sales floor, even if it's just, you and I open a boutique, we figure out something that works. Okay, let's put together it, because there's a lot of times you're doing 10 million things during the day. So if you can glance down at the desk and see the 5 steps you and I agreed on that every guest goes through, like, okay, all right, I was just placing orders. There's a guest up there now. Okay. Hi, ma'am. Welcome in. Have you shopped with us before? And then, and go through those 5 agreed upon steps. So
I really like, too, is technology's helped so much with, cultivating SOPs, because you can have your phone, if you have your phone with you, you've got a camera right there along with you that you can record yourself doing these things to later on make these checklists in order to train someone, and they can have a visual of what you did along with the written side of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've actually worked for businesses where we've recorded a morning chat on a company device that when people come in for the start of their shift, they watch, not only seeing me or another leader, grateful that they're there for the day,
Yeah.
energetic and positive, right? We set the mood for our team from the beginning. So, but then we remind them of what our focuses are.
Yeah.
So, it could be as simple as, hi, welcome into work. We're so glad you're here today. Don't forget, these are a few of the specials that we're celebrating this month or this week, whatever the sales are. And then please remember our guest experience. We want every guest to get this, this, and this consistently.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll see you on the sales floor. Or maybe as a business owner, you're not in your business every day. So leaving them a video chat like that.
Yeah.
Right? Something fun. But the orchestration part is really where you pull everything together.
Yeah.
And your presence, your thumbprint as a business owner or leader is felt.
Yes. And I think the orchestration, so just like when I refer to it as a symphony, right? So an orchestra, it consists of multiple players. You've got the violin, you've got the piano, you've got all the players that are playing specific instruments. But if all they're doing are playing notes, then all you're having are notes being played, not actually making music.
It's just noise.
It's just noise.
Yeah.
The tone, right, is what actually makes it a symphony, right? So when you're orchestrating your business, the tone has to be there along with it. And those SOPs can convey the tone of your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so but that also narrows down to your why. Right. Your why is going to help with your tone. And so if that why follows you through all of your journey through innovation, right, through collecting your data, and then orchestrating everything together so it makes a symphony of business together, your tone will follow through. Now you've got a viable product. Now you have a viable business.
Yes. And keep in mind, Michael's resounding message through a lot of this is create your business to be a prototype for future businesses. Again, not saying you are going to franchise or chain, but when you create something that is replicable, then you can teach that to others and set it as an expectation and standard so that when you take that family vacation finally that you are so deserved of, whoever you have watching the store for you, even if it's just a great friend, your business partner, or employees you have hired, doesn't matter. Your thumbprint can be felt because chances are your customers are coming there because of you and who you are. And if you figured something out that works, you want that to be echoed through your team.
Yeah, you're setting up your business as a franchise, like you said, not for selling, but for peace of mind, knowing that it's working exactly the way it would work had you been there or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, my goodness, just digging into these 3 amazing parts, I feel like we kind of hit up what might be your commute into work or what have you. We're trying to keep these listenable within a 20 to 30 minute window. So I think the second part of this, we should just...
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you don't need a refill. Girl, what's wrong? Typically,
it's talking.
And I know, this was great dialogue, right? But why don't we kind of pause, breathe, and then what we'll do is we will dig into the next steps, but we'll give it to them for the following week.
Okay.
Right? So, yeah. But so we'll wrap up this one, right? Thank you for joining us for this episode.
I'm going to drink this and get a refill.
So
we'll wrap up this episode.
So, here we go, right? Grab a good book.
Get some great food.
And grab a good buddy to share with. All right, y'all. See you next week. Good Lord, that is so good.